Hello and welcome everybody to today's video. Welcome to the Vee Academy. My name is Crumbrion, Professor Crumbrion, if you would. And today, we're going to be taking a look at a wonderful game that we played on Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. And be happy to get your reactions to it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. If you want to follow me and watch games in real time, check me out on twitch.tv/Crumbrion. For now, let's go check out the game. Thanks for watching.
3, 2, 1, go!
Definitely can be a problem. Maybe Secret Box is what Charizard's looking for here. I don't know. Only one way to find out, but maybe it's the secret sauce. Because Charizard is definitely not optimized by any means. Charizard can definitely have some tinkering done with it, for sure, to see kind of where it goes, where it's going to fall, right? So, not ideal if this is a good attacking deck, because we don't have anything backing up. So we are going up against what looks to be a Zoroark deck, or some kind of like damage-based deck, so we'll find out exactly how much trouble we're in right now. That was very good. That was very good for us. Oh, we're going second? Did I not win the coin flip? Oh, they won the coin flip. Yeah, this is brutal. Yeah, we run Thornton. Exactly. So like throwing out those doesn't really hurt us that much, right? Which is pretty nice. All right, so League Headquarters is not going to help here. Let me get these down. I don't think we're gonna need Defiance Band or League Headquarters this game. Might regret it, but I really do just want to kind of get a Rotom down. Give us some cards. Okay. I'm assuming we're going to get hand disrupted this turn, so I'm not really going to think too much about it, but if we don't get hand disrupted, we have a pretty good next turn, so yeah, there it is. This is exactly what I assumed was going to happen, so not paying attention to that hand too much. We get our Pidgeot anyway, so that's good. It's good news for us. Yeah, there's the Zoroark that we saw. So, probably not a good game for Calamitous either. We don't want to give them free damage as much as possible. That's good news for us, actually. So we'll do this. We'll do this. We can afford to get rid of an energy here. We're going to get rid of Calamitous, because we're not going to be using that this game. They do another Reckless charge here that's good for us. We'll see. So I think what we want to do here is we probably just want to Iono. I mean, we could Arven here too, actually, because we could Arven, grab... do we want to do that, though? I don't think we want to. I think we just want to Iono here, because we could grab the Seal Stone. But if they gust up our Rotom and we don't get a chance to use it, then it's useless anyways, so... We're giving them cards, but... it could be better than it is worse. So, we'll see here in a second. So we'll put down energy, and then we'll just call it a turn. Alright, so if they do end up attacking again with Reckless Charge next turn, we have a KO potentially with Dusknoir to kind of speed the game up a little bit and get rid of damage on their board. We don't necessarily want to have damage on their board as much as possible. I'm getting another Hisuian Zoroark, that's fine. Looks like they didn't get the Dodrio, so that's good. Manaphy's doesn't matter in this matchup for us, so... Okay, they're gonna get the Dodrio here, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It's okay though, because we can just counter onto the Zoroark if they get the V-Star, which they're gonna get. Of course they will. Well, I'm assuming that they're gonna hand disrupt us again, right? So like, I don't want to incentivize them hand disrupting us too much. Yeah, they had an Iono in hand, so they ended up using research this turn. So we get to keep our hand. We're gonna lose a Charmander. That's fine though, because we get to KO the Zoroark in return, I believe. We should be able to. We'll put up the Pidgeot. I'm gonna see what's our prizes. We do have a Pidgey in prizes. That's fine. I don't think our secret box is in prizes. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and then there's our counter catcher. It's exactly why I fucking hate counter catcher. It's never where you need it, like ever. So what we can do here is we can rare candy Zard, which I think is probably the best play that we could do. Rare candy Zard. And pull the energies out. Get them all set up here, because this is taking energy out of the deck, so we're not drawing energy, which is important. We have two options here, okay? So, Charizard's right now doing 210. We could do 240 and knock out a Dodrio. And then Arven gets us a Defiance Band here as well, so this is what I think we want to do right now. We can Seal Stone. I think I want to grab the... Yeah, I want to grab two things here. We want to get Defiance Band. We don't have Defiance Band. Okay, so it's got to be... Instead, it's got to be the Dusclops onto the active. There's no point in us going after the Dodrio if we don't have Defiance Band, because that's in the prizes. That's going to put that in range of Charizard now. And now we can Turos the Duskull back in, right? Which I think is probably the best option here. Or not Turo. We can grab Thornton next turn. I think I want to grab Thornton next turn. I think what we want to do, grab Radiant Charizard for this turn. Put that down. Put this up. There's not anything we vacuum on their side of the board, so we just do this for a KO. It's one hefty thing out of the way. There's our secret box. That's huge, actually. That's really big. We have a few options of what we can do here now. We have a few options of what we can do now. We're gonna get another one, but they're not gonna have a full board of damage, so it's not really that scary. They're gonna have a difficult time getting a full board of damage right now. They need a Terra Pokemon if they're using Area 0 to get up to the 400 needed to hit, or 350 needed to KO Charizard here, so. Temple really wouldn't do anything, honestly. Like, they could just attach a second DTE. Like, just killing the Zoroark is more than enough, so. Yeah, they don't get nearly enough damage for it to be scary here, so. Just 200. 250 if they damage this, but even then it's really not that scary. So we basically get everything we need here in this next turn. What's nice is that we can use the secret box to grab the Thornton if and they only do 180 because of the minus 20, so we're not super scared about anything like that. So now we can secret box very safely here. We get rid of that, we get rid of this, we get rid of that. Easy. We grab Thornton. And we grab... What else do we want here? Because we could, now we can do what we wanted to do, because this next KO is going to give us even more out of this. So what I think we want to do is we want to grab a Pal Pad potentially, or a Night Stretcher. I mean, I think Pal Pad's probably better for us. We have the Nest Ball, we have everything we want in there right now. So we go Thornton. We Thornton in the Rotom. Goodbye. We Pal Pad the Thornton back in the deck now. So we have that back for later. We're going to Quick Search. We're going to grab ourselves a Dusknoir. Because right now we're 30 damage shy from killing the Zoroark, so all we have to do is manufacture another prize for them, which we can do with Dusknoir, and that can also double by taking out one of their Dodrios, which then puts us basically game on board in this next situation. So, and Defiance Band wouldn't have done anything for us here anyways, because we would have had to not take a KO, so fine that we don't have it. Get the Pidgey, which is whatever. We don't need anything else. We just need to go for the KO here. Swing for 270, easy. Take 2 prizes, and now basically we're in a very, very strong position. Even if they knock out Charizard, they don't have a way to knock out 3 Pokemon. Yeah, they concede. There you go. Secret Box actually did it, guys. Temple makes it so that every special energy just counts as a single colorless energy. It doesn't negate the energy entirely. It would just mean that they just had one energy attached that doesn't have any effect. And so they would just have to attach a second double turbo, and then they would have the attack for Ticking Curse. Yeah. So overall, like, pretty good. We got to see Secret Box in action. That felt really good. Actually, that felt really good. So the problem is, right, because we don't have, and so what I want to focus on, because this was pretty straightforward. This was a pretty straightforward game that we saw from, and funny enough, people were talking about Hisuian Zoroark and using the matchup against Hisuian Zoroark with Calamitous Snowy Mountain. So funny that we matched up against that one. But no, interestingly enough, Secret Box was kind of crazy in this matchup, right? Because on this turn, for us to get 3 prizes this turn, we needed to get Rotom off the board with Thornton, right? We didn't have Thornton in hand, and so we needed to search for Thornton, and we needed to get a Dusknoir. So, how would you normally facilitate this without having Secret Box? You would have to either search Lumineon with Quick Search, right? You'd have to either just grab Thornton with Quick Search, and then you wouldn't have Dusknoir because we had Rare Candy in hand. So we didn't have the ability to search for 2 things because we didn't have Ultra Ball in hand. So we didn't have the ability to grab both Dusknoir and Thornton. However, Secret Box allowed us to not only grab Thornton, but get a way to get Thornton back in the deck as well in case we wanted to use it again. So Pal Pad was really nice. But yeah, Pal Pad and Thornton. So that frees up our Pidgeot to grab Dusknoir, which we have the Rare Candy in hand. So if, just as an example, if we didn't have Rare Candy in hand, we could have just grabbed Rare Candy and Thornton. Right? That could have been our combo right there, and then Pidgeot grabs us Dusknoir. So we're grabbing 3 cards in a combo when otherwise we would have only been able to grab 1. Which is actually kind of busted. Come to think of it, right? Because Charizard doesn't exactly have that. And like when you look at things like Terapagos, what is Terapagos' biggest strength in right now? It's the fact that you can Pidgeot search and then you can grab a Noctowl, and then Noctowl can grab you like one other thing, and then can grab you another Noctowl, and then like by way of using Ultra Ball. And then you can Ultra Ball for another Noctowl that grabs you 2 more things, right? So you're effectively grabbing 3 things. And you don't have another liability on the board because we don't have to worry about putting Lumineon down to grab Thornton, right? We don't have to worry about Lumineon. We just have Secret Box do that for us without putting a second liability down. And then Thornton removes our only other liability, which is Rotom at that point, right? So Rotom is gone because of Thornton. And then we're clearing up that by making use of the Rotom by turning it into a Duskull so it can turn into a Dusknoir. And then we take out one of their draw supports in the Dodrio, and we take out their main attacker now because we've increased our damage by 30. So now we're swinging for 270, and now we're hitting Hisui and Zoroark for 270. And now they're in a position where they can't easily facilitate another Hisui and Zoroark. And even if they can, they only take 2 prizes. And they have to deal with the fact that I have 1 prize left, which means I could knock out literally anything on their board. And I have a Radiant Charizard, so Radiant Charizard could come in and knock out anything on their board for 1 prize, and they can't do anything about it. I have 2 win conditions on board, right? Because I have Charmander that I could evolve to a Charizard at any point in time, or I can have a Radiant Charizard attacking for 1 fire energy, which I still have Pidgeot to search out either one of those combos. If I don't have a way to rare candy the Charmander, I just search the fire energy for the Radiant Charizard, and Bob's your uncle. So pretty good to see Secret Box in action in Charizard pay off in a huge way. It would have been a very awkward situation for us otherwise, because we wouldn't be able to easily facilitate another KO there. We could Super Rod. I think we had Super Rod in hand. Like, we could have Super Rodded the Dusclops back in, right? And then done the exact same thing, put 50 damage on, and then done that. Which it might have turned out the same way, but they would have had 2 prizes remaining, right? Which would have given them 2 turns because they only had single prize attackers left on bench, right? So taking the 3 prizes that turn was very, very important because that put pressure on them to be like, now you have to facilitate an attack, not only facilitate an attack, but like basically stop me in 1 turn. Like, otherwise, they would have had a couple turns to disrupt me or stall me or something. That forced them to have an answer immediately, and they just didn't have an answer. So very, very cool. I don't hate it, actually. I think Secret Box fit extremely well into this situation, and it was really easy to decide what to throw away at that point too, right? Because we threw away things that we just didn't need. Like at that point in the stage, we don't need Buddy Poffin. We already know that they're not using anything that requires Lost Vacuum. And then we had Pidgeot out already, so we just got rid of Pidgeot. We lost literally nothing to gain a win condition. Basically. That's pretty good. I've never had a start like that in Charizard in my entire life. And the fact that we just had that was insane. Spent 75 minutes talking at the camera for a video, now you're dead. I feel that 100%. You see, the way that I make YouTube videos is I just clip my Twitch stuff. Like, I'll take a cool game that I played, and then I'll sandwich it into an intro and an outro, and that's it. That's why I do a lot of talking while I'm playing the game. It saves me from having to go back over and narrating over it. It's like I'll have my, you know, like free flowing thought. Oh my god, I almost like fucked that up. It's the way to do it for sure. It's one way to do it. Like there's definitely something to be said. Another Charizard deck. And another mulligan for a Charizard deck. What's going on? Charizards, anyone? But yeah, like there's something to be said about the videos that go in and script it out and talk about it and everything else like that. I honestly am terrible at sitting down and free thinking, is in this metagame, right? It's just like rambling thought, right? I am much better at off the cuff and talking about things just like randomly when it comes to my mind than I am like sitting down and mapping out what I want to say. It sounds really bad when I do it that way. Like, I don't know why. I just do not turn out to be very good like that. So I think I want to... Thornton's easier to get back. So, because we have pal pads, so we're not too worried about that. I think we just do this, and I'm expecting an Iono, so I don't even care what we get. You enjoy writing? I love writing. Writing is so good. Something that you've come back around to? Yeah, like writing is great. I love writing. That's like one of my favorite things to do. It's just, I find that when I'm reading a script, I do worse. Like I perform worse than if I just, you know, talk off the top of my head and just blurt shit out. And just blah, blah, you know? I find that I'm much better just off the cuff. I'm a much better interviewer that way too, because like when I did podcasts and stuff like that, I would have people on, I would have like celebrities and stuff on and talk to them, and I'd just be shooting the shit. I didn't have anything prepared. I didn't have anything ready to talk about. I would just shoot the shit, and I would pick up on different things like that they wanted to go down and like interesting conversation pieces, and I would do that. I'm very, very good at doing that off the cuff. If I do sit down and prepare things that I want to go through in like a rigid thing, I'm very, very bad. I don't know why that is. I'm just a better live streamer, I guess. Good and bad part with Pokemon is that it's an information race. It's okay to be scuffed with your production as long as it's timely. Yes, exactly. There's the Iono. Knew that we weren't going to keep this hand, so I didn't even care. What was it? Hey, secret box. We got secret box. Hey. What does that get us, guys? What does that get us? Surprise! All right, well, we don't need Nest Ball, we don't need Heavy Ball, so I think we just, we can easily get rid of these, and we can easily get Fezandipiti back whenever we need it, so. We get to showcase what we can do here. So, because we are probably going, we don't even need to Arven this turn, so we can actually just Iono. We can grab another Iono out of deck. We don't need it, right? We can get, what do we have? Because we're going to grab a Pokemon anyway. So we're going to grab Rare Candy, we're going to grab Sealstone, and we're going to grab, I guess, Calamitous Snowy Mountain, because why not? Because we're not attaching via that anyways. Alright, so let's go Star Alchemy. Do we want Pidgeot? I think we probably want Pidgeot, right? Might be a bad idea. We might regret that, but it's fine. Kind of regret it. A little bit. Kind of. So now we can quickie search. I guess we just grab a Charmeleon here, honestly. We can just take this nice and slow now. We just go, because there's no point in us going into an attack here because this is a Charizard mirror, as it always is. So it's better to be slower. We go Charmeleon, and I think we just, we could Nest Ball here as well. We could grab a Radiant Charizard just for future setup. Don't necessarily want to put too many Duskulls down in this matchup either. And then we just Instant Charge. Alright. Don't necessarily want to be the first person taking KOs. Dumpy! Let's go. Hey, we forced them out. Good. That's perfect, actually. So now we can get rid of Rotom. That's very good for us. Because Rotom doesn't do anything for us at that point, so... Wow, they conceded. Is this the tech, folks? Like, is this the tech? Like, we just spooked them. Banger game. So, like, that was kind of insane, right? So, like, what did we do differently than what we would normally do, right? Because let's take a look at that just real quick. I mean, we Buddy Poffined, obviously, it was nice for us. We got the Ultra Ball for the Pidgey. So we basically have everything we need. We have 2 Charmanders. We have a Pidgey behind a Duskull. They're going to have to gust up the Pidgey to get rid of it, right? Which they can't necessarily do right away. We end up getting the 3 cards, which are decent. Not like anything we are going to be crazy about, right? So then they get a pretty standard turn. We get Ionoed, which we assumed we were going to get Ionoed. But they Iono us into Secret Box. So, like, this was a nice hand. It was a nice hand to lose, unfortunately. Right? We had the Rare Candy, we had Iono, we had pretty much, like, we had guaranteed Pidgeot in hand. But the nice part is, right, because if well, I would say guaranteed Pidgeot. If we use the Arven to grab an Ultra Ball for Pidgeot, then we have to throw away two other things. So we have to throw away an Iono, potentially have to throw away either a Defiance Band, a Lost Vacuum, or our second Iono, which not ideal, right? And then we lose the ability to grab a supporter. So we potentially get some stuff set up there. Great. But now we're looking at Secret Box, we have Nest Ball, we have Fezandipiti, we have Bosses, we have Arven. Okay, great. So on this turn, now we can Secret Box. We have our entire bench set up. We don't really need anything else on our bench. So that immediately negates the need for Nest Ball and Heavy Ball. And then we can grab Fezandipiti back because we have Night Stretcher and we have Super Rod. So in the case that we need Fezandipiti, it's there. It's in the discard pile if we need it. We just go and grab it, right? Because now we want to get Pidgeot out, so we can grab the rare candy. We can grab the Seal Stone, which turns into Pidgeot, right? We get Iono, and we get to Calamitous Snowy Mountain. So now instead of Arvening for just 2 cards and using up our supporter slot, now we get the Pidgeot out, right? We get the Pidgeot out between these 2 cards. We get a Stadium down. And we get to Hand Disrupt all in the same turn. That's incredibly powerful. That's incredibly powerful. And then we didn't have to do anything there. Like, we didn't have to attack, right? Because we're facing a Charizard mirror, so we know that they want us to take prizes to do damage. Because in that case, if we take an attack and we kill them, right? We KO one of their Pokemon, then all of a sudden they can retaliate by KOing our Rotom. So we're taking out 1 prize for a potential them swinging back on 2 prizes and putting us super far behind. And like that's good for us to a degree, but that's not ideal, right? So we just take the safe route. We grab Pidgey, we play Iono. We put the 3 cards that we don't necessarily want right now because we don't want Briar. We don't need Bosses, and we can't play Arven, so those are useless for us. But then we get a pretty decent rest of the hand, right? Like, we get a little bit better hand. We get our Lost Vacuum back in case they play stuff like Hero's Cape or things that we don't necessarily want to deal with, like the Collapse Stadium, etc., etc. So then that's fine. And then they play the Collapse Stadium, which we just get rid of our bench liability immediately. Rotom's gone. And then they, I guess, realized that they kind of goofed up, and then they gave up. So there you go. They had the Defiance Band, which couldn't do anything, and then they couldn't get a Charizard out that turn. We had a Pidgeot out already, so... That is such a powerful card. That is such a powerful card. Early game, it's really powerful. Like, just being able to grab item... Like, it effectively is... It's an Arven without using up your supporter slot. And it grabs you a Stadium, and it grabs you whatever supporter you want, which is Disruption. That's so good. I think we might be onto something here.